name is Ahmed, and I'm working with the Brook Pakistan as a fundraising and communications manager. I joined Brook in 2006, and till then, I'm a very proud member of this organization. So here we are in Ilyas Bricklin of Sialkot district, which is 4 hours drive from Islamabad. It is in north of Sialkot and only about 14 kilometers from Pakistan-India border. Sialkot is leather and export hub of Pakistan, and it's an expanding city, with lots of rural areas in the surrounding. And there's many bricklins like this all over Sialkot and in the suburbs. This is a rural area where we have 9 of such bricklins in a cluster. So, as I've told you, Sialkot is an expanding city, and there's a constant need of construction for factories and for residences. So there's a constant need of construction material, and the brick is the basic construction material which is in high demand all around the year. It's very Bricklin where we are standing. Ilyas Bricklin makes 4 million bricks per year. There are over 350 bricklins in and around Sialkot district, where 6,500 families and around 4,000 animals are employed. So it is 11 in the morning, and the temperature is like nice 22 degrees, but in the summer the temperature goes up till 50 degrees, and plus the heat of the kiln makes it very hard for the working animals and the labor which work with them. On this tour, I'll be taking you around this bricklin. We'll be seeing how the bricks are made, how they are transported back into the kiln, how they stack the bricks in the kiln, and then how they take them out. So we'll have our all-around tour of the bricklin. Plus, we will see how the Brook team is working here, how they have trained the stakeholders here, and what kind of structures are in place after we have spent around 4 years working with the animals here in this bricklin. So we, in collaboration with the bricklin owner here, we have set up shed and shelter, we have set up water truck points, and we have set up areas where the animal service providers can come and sit and provide the services to the animal. So we are planning to exit from this bricklin in 2021 in the March, as per our exit criteria, which is a 3-pronged approach that we should have basic animal health services available here, we should have the resources available here, and we should have the best behavior that we try to change since 2017 of the owners towards their animal. So these 3 criteria, if they are met, then we are going to exit in 2021, and we are very confident that we are on track to exit from this bricklin. General view from the roadside. When you come off the road, you enter in the bricklin, and you see the whole of the face of the bricklin along with the chimney. And as you go along and you go back side of the brick, you will see the plots where the raw bricks are made and they are transported back in. So the general area is very dusty, no roads, it's very bumpy, and you can well imagine when it's summer, it's very hot. Temperatures going up to 50 degrees Celsius, and if you combine it with the heat from the kiln, it's unbearable for an outsider. So if you walk along, you will see the plots of unbaked brick, raw bricks on both sides. There you see the families working. And on the back also. So this is the view from the back side of the kiln. So as you enter the bricklin, on the back side of bricklin you will see the houses of the labor which is stationed here, and plus you will see these big plots where they make raw bricks. So to make the raw bricks, they first take out the sand which is dig from the earth around the bricklin, or they buy this sand and then it's brought here on trucks and trolleys. So then they take the sand and they prepare it for the molding. So this guy is mixing the sand with the clay to make the basic ingredient of the brick. So after mixing sand and clay, they put in water to make this mud. Bricklin has 4 plots like this where they mold raw bricks out of mud. So at a given time there are 40 to 50 people working and making bricks. So every plot produces over 2000 bricks per day, which are then transported on the back of the animals in the bricklin site for baking. As you can see, it's a skill when they mold the mud and then they transfer the mud into a raw brick. And you can see the speed in which this very skilled worker is working. And the whole family is involved. So this is one family where the females are there, the men are there, and in some cases the kids are also working. So in just under 1 minute you can see he has molded over 5 bricks from the mud. So this can give you an idea that how a family works at a bricklin when it comes to molding part of the bricks. So everybody has his or her own job. So one is to make a very raw mold of a brick and then on to the specific molding. And this is 1 day's work, as you can see. So there are over 2000 bricks here in this very plot, and there are 4 plots like this for this bricklin. So after making these raw bricks, they leave them on the ground for 4 to 5 days to bake under the sun, and after 5 days they pick them up from the ground and they make a pile of them like this, and then again they leave it for like 5 days and it bakes naturally under the sun and give them some stiffness to be transported in the bricklin. So every stack consists of 10 raw bricks, and I've counted these, and these are over 5,500 bricks, raw bricks waiting to be transported into the kiln as of this plot. So now we are entering a plot where the bricks are ready to be shifted into the bricklin, and as you can see, in this bricklin they use mules cart to transport the raw bricks into the bricklin. So the animal owner himself loads the bricks onto the cart. So he will load around 350 bricks on his cart and will take it to the kiln. So this animal is carrying 200 bricks from the raw plot inside the kiln. So one animal goes in and another is getting ready to be taken to work. and the animal owner is gonna hitch the cart to the horse. His shift starts at around 1 p.m. and he will now then work till 4 p.m. So this beautiful mare named Rani, she is now approached the plot and where the owner will load her up. Another animal is ready. So they will make 13 trips in and out of the clen, from the plot to the clen, and will transport about 5,000 bricks per day. It depends upon the demand from the bricklin owner also and the demand from the market. But loading is an art. We have told them to load in a certain way that the cart will remain balanced and there's very less stress on the animal's body. So by the end of the day, he will earn around 10 pounds by transporting the bricks from the raw site. As a result of frequent conversations with the equine owners and also with the bricklin owner, we have convinced all the related stakeholders that the excessive loading of bricks on the carts will in the longer run hamper the health of the animal, and which is directly linked with the productivity of the bricklin. So they have received this message well, and now they load as per or even less than the capacity of the animal, the load I mean. So this bricklin is currently shifting to the zigzag technology, which is a new environment friendly technology to burning the fuel and bake the bricks. So they are in expansion mode right now. As you can see a crane working in there, but on the back side of this crane there's the actual side where the animals has to be unloaded. So you can see that the owners are waiting here and the animals are waiting in line for their turn. When this crane will come out, these animals will go in from here and they will unload. As the animal is going in, Rani is all set to offload the load. So the animal is inside the bricklin, and here the actual stacking process in the clen starts. So there are already 2 animals waiting to be offloaded, and then when they get offloaded, we'll have this one in turn. So this is a very systematic way of putting the bricks in the bricklin. They will keep some distance between the bricks to give oxygen the flow to make the fire burn, and then they will cover this top with sand and they bury the bricks in sand, and then they put fuel to make them bake. Let me take you upstairs and give you a view from the top at how it looks like when they're stacking. So they will be stacking here, and then they will cover everything with this red clay, and they will make a fire under the sand to bake the bricks. And you can see in distance the plots where the brick started. It came in, and now the animal is inside and they're stacking the bricks. And you can see the whole bricklin is like in an oval shape, and they're making fire on the back end where the bricks are already stacked in, And you can see the chimney, big chimney. The smoke is going out. So this bricklane where we're working is working on a new technology called the zigzag, which is environment friendly. As you can see from the color of the smoke, it's not black. And they are working with the material which is not very harmful for the environment. And that's why the government has allowed them to work all around the year. So this guy is putting the coal inside the bricklane. So this guy keeps check on the fire that it's burning all right, and I can feel it. It's very hot. It's over 200 degrees as of now. I can't even dare to take my camera closer. And he continuously puts in material to keep the fire burning, and underneath it the raw bricks are burning and they're getting baked. So according to the owner here who owns this bricklane, he can say if you throw metal in this, the metal will melt. So you can well imagine how hot it is. So they use wood to ignite the fire along with coal. The height of the pile is around 10 feet of the ground, and then the chimney. So the families of the labor, they stays on the kiln site, and the kids stay here along with the whole family. Some of the kids go to school, some may stay home, or some will help their parents and siblings in making of the bricks. So after 35 to 40 days, the bricks are finally produced and they get their distinctive red color. And then they dig that bricks out of the kiln and load onto the tractors to taken out in the market. So it's very dusty here. It's noisy and coupled with very dodgy sand. So the bricks started traveling from there, the heat started traveling with there. So on that side there are unbaked bricks, and as the fire continues and the time goes on, it makes a circle, and by the time it reaches here we have 40 days and the bricks are now made. They are red in color and ready to be transported to the markets. They are bought by the residence industry, construction, factories, schools, everybody. So the bricks are the main element of building any project in Pakistan. They still use bricks. So they keep the baked brick out of the kilns, waiting to be transported to the market, and they also use the wastage of the bricks as a filling for floors. So they crush it, and this is also sold. And if you make a complete circle of the bricklane, entering from the one side and exiting out from this one, so this is the exit side of the bricklane, and you will see the offices of the bricklane accounts and administration there. So anybody going out, he has to pay there for the bricks, or the labor has to come here for their salaries and everything. So this is the office of the bricklane administration. So on the site, on the bricklane site, we have animal welfare infrastructure present. We have water troughs on the way when the animals travel from the plot, from the raw brick plot to the kiln. So they have a water trough on the way. Plus the owner, we have convinced the owner to build a shelter. The brook has, through regular engagement with the bricklane owner, and he has very kindly agreed to provide the animals with a proper shade and shelter. So we have this shelter built by the Brooklyn owner, where 10 animals of this Brooklyn, they spend their time when they are resting, and they have their feed managers over there, and when they are not working they come here and they relax under the shade. Plus they have this side, the blankets are on because of the winter season, and it can accommodate 10 animals. And on the back side we have a waterfall, so plus an open area. If it's sunny, the animals can come out and they enjoy sun and water at lib. So the animals are currently working inside the Brooklyn, so there are no animals here. But these two animals, they are on rest at this time, and they're enjoying a nice lunch here inside the shelter. So this is on the Brooklyn side, and it's been managed by the Brooklyn owner and the animals owner. We also have the first aid kit available with us, which is also managed by the Brooklyn owner and contributed by the animals owner also. Brooke has trained a local animal owner with this first aid box, and he is trained in giving first aid to the animals, and when it needs refill they collaborate and they contribute to refill the medicine. So Brooke has trained them in the first aid provision, and just in case they have some minor issues, wounds, so they can treat it on site. And we have also trained local government vets and para vets who can come in and treat the animals if they require any other treatment. With the infrastructure in place, we have our community engagement, and we also have done the trainings of the local service provider, which include the animal health care provider, the saddlers, the farriers. So at this Brooklyn, we have the government vet who has been trained by the Brook in dealing with the big animals. They were not confident with the horses, mules, and donkeys, but after the training they got from Brook, Pakistan, these government vets are now very confident, and they visit Bricklands every week, and they are available on need-based basis also. So they have the helpline established, and whenever the animal needs help, they call the government vet who is trained by the Brook, and they visit the Brickland and they treat the animals. So here today we have Dr. Aslam, who is here on the side, and he's inspecting the animal. He's a government vet and trained by the Brook. So this is a referral map where all the mobile phone numbers and the names of the service providers are listed. And as you can see, all the numbers are displayed, and in case of any emergency or any need, the community members and the animal owners can call these trained service provider, and they will visit the Brickland and they can get their animals treated. So this particular animal has some lameness issue. An animal healthcare provider is now checking for the signs and symptoms, and he will deal the case accordingly as per the guidelines. These Brook trained service provider not only give services to the animals, but they also earn their livelihoods by providing services. But I must mention that they only charge minimum for these services for the poor communities at maximum £2 per treatment. So these are only cover the cost of medicine they provide to the animals. So Brook not only has trained these local service providers through a robust training program, but we regularly monitor through our field teams. We monitor these animal health service providers so that we could maintain the quality and give them regular mentoring sessions. So here you can see that the Brook vet Dr. Sharoon is mentoring the government health officer.
Good boy, good boy. 2 दिन ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰਾਓ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਚੈੱਕ
ਗੁੜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਜਾਣਾ
2 ਦਿਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਤਲਾਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੂਰਤ ਵਾਲੀ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਚੈੱਕ
ਤੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੋਲਾ ਪਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰੈਸਟ ਦਵੋਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਸ ਠੀਕ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਚਲੋ ਜੀ
So as I've told you that this is a cluster of 6 bricklayers, so you can see in the distance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one in the back. So this is a cluster of 6 bricklayers, and we are currently standing at the Elias bricklane, which is the central point where our team has established animal welfare resources and services with the help of the bricklane owners and with the help of local communities and the government livestock department.